Hello world, you're watching Exponential Tech. This is the place to be if you're into technologies that have exponential impact on your daily life, your wallet, and the world. Exponential Tech covers AI, crypto, as well as investing. Now, in today's show, it's all about crypto. Today, I'm going to be discussing three really interesting stories I came across. The first is about volatility of two famous assets, Bitcoin and Facebook. The second is an update on the upcoming hard fork for Ethereum. And the third, it's a crypto pseudo earnings report from Pantera Capital. And then we'll wrap up with a state of the crypto market. So, onto the volatility story. In short, this article basically confronts the skepticism analysts of conventional markets have on crypto. These market analysts are often negative towards the volatility seen in the crypto space, and it's fair enough. Many crypto players, such as Fluffy Pony, seen here, and he's part of the core team at Monero, by the way, and also ran from Crypto Traders CNBC, the Crypto Trader program on CNBC, have highlighted how volatile the Facebook stock is recently. The article also outlines, and discusses how $120 billion was just wiped off the market value of Facebook, which is colossal and was covered in a couple of shows ago. So if you haven't watched that one, I'll link it in the video in the description section below. And there is some truth to this. As you can see, this is a weekly chart for Facebook, and this year alone, that there have been, roughly around 25% drops in the price of Facebook here. So the first was in around March, and the second was the one that occurred actually this week. So there is some truth in terms of the volatility this year, but as you can see, the stock has been climbing at a rather incredible rate consistently. Now, let's compare that with Bitcoin, and we see a totally different story. In fact, we've seen a drop of, about a 400% drop, and we've consistently doubled and halved several times this year. And going back across the history, we can see even greater drops. So there is a lot more volatility than Facebook in my opinion, and this is what the data shows as well. So there is, yeah, this viewpoint should be taken with um, lightly, let's just say. I think it's more of a let's get some hits on this article type of story. Um, the article also presents tweets hypothesizing when the Winklevoss twins' net worth will overtake Zuck's from Facebook. Some have even coined the phrase, where is it? The winkling, which I thought was rather hilarious. And this is a play on the flippening, which occurs in the Bitcoin world. I think this is a classic shit staring article, in my opinion. Um, though I think the Winklevosses twins will overtake Zucks, I think both parties should be credited with their achievements and respected as well. I think anyone who can build a company like Facebook is an absolute legend, in my opinion. Now, on to the next story, which is about the upcoming hard fork on Ethereum. This is the second in the series of forks. It's called Constantinople, and the objective is to make the Ethereum network more efficient and cheaper. So higher transactions per second and cheaper transaction fees. It's expected that this hard fork will occur before October, before the annual DevCon Ethereum conference, which was disclosed by key core developers in a meeting on Friday yesterday. Now, the exact block number is yet to be defined, um, but this is brilliant news in my opinion. The network is already struggling, as you can see from data such as the hash rate, the transaction per second, and this burden on the network is only going to increase as more activity occurs. So, for example, the Augur project, which is really well known in the community, is going to stress the network even more than it is now. And this doesn't account for all the other projects on top of the network, on the top of the Ethereum network. So there is a massive need to scale up. This is an ongoing problem and will probably be a problem in the next decade to come as more and more applications start to propagate on the network. If you want me to do a video on Constantinople and the Byzantine upgrade, which occurred earlier this year, please comment down below in the comment section below. But from a fundamentals and macro perspective, this is only going to push the price of Ether even higher. We reached around 14 to 1500 US dollars earlier this year. I think Ether is going to hit some 2000 US dollars easily by February 2019. We're getting huge uptake in the usage of the network, as I've already stated. And so the demand for Ether is only going to go up, and therefore limited supply and supply and demand theory requires the price to go up in response. As always, I'll put all the resources I'm discussing in today's video in the description section below. Now on to the final story, which is the earnings report from Pantera Capital. Check this out. If you haven't read the title already or are listening on the SoundCloud platform, Pantera Capital have reported, and get this guys, 10,136.15% return on their capital. That's a net return. That's after taxes and fees over the lifetime of the fund. That's 5 years. This is colossal. This is crazy. This is staggering. Conventional funds, if you don't know, tend to target, the really good ones anyway, tend to produce returns of 15 to 20%. This is colossal, guys. This is absolutely colossal. For those that don't know, Pantera Capital are headed up by a guy called Dan Moorhead, and they also have an incredible team. One guy I follow on Twitter is a guy called Charlie Noyes. He knows everything there is to know about crypto. He's a massive player, and he's also a massive Ethereum bull. So check him out on Twitter if you guys don't do that already. But I'd like to just read out this quote from the article. We wanted to share the original logic as it is equally compelling today. This is from Moorhead and what they wrote. At the time of an email sent by Moorhead predicted that Bitcoin, which was trading at $104 at the time, would see $5,000. This is a prediction Moorhead made, and he thought this because BTC dominates cash, electronic fiat money, gold, and bearer bonds. It can do all of these things that each of these can. It's the first global currency since gold. It's the first borderless payment system ever. And this is incredible foresight by Moorhead. He got it absolutely right. It hit 5,000 and it went on to almost 20,000, guys. So this is the foresight at Pantera Capital. This company needs to be followed, in my opinion. This fund is going to grow to trillions. And with that money comes massive influence, not just in the blockchain world, but in politics, in other tech, artificial intelligence. So watch out and listen up, guys, from this firm. They have incredible exposure to other amazing projects in the space. One I'd like to highlight is the Basis project, which is a stablecoin project. I can do a video on that. Comment down below if you want to hear more of that. And lastly, let's do a state of the market overview. We're currently at a market cap of 297 billion, and this is still, lower than the highs of 309 billion earlier this week. But we've got green across the top 10, and so yeah, we're pretty stable at the moment following the drop, which was followed by the SEC rejection of the ETF, the BTC ETF, which was discussed in yesterday's video. And let's have a quick look at BTC. It's still on the up. If you can see on the monthly charts, it's a higher high from the last month. So in my opinion, we're already in bullish territory. A higher high from the last month is significant. This breaks the trend line. As you can see in other months, the highs were comparable, were lower than the last month, and this is what characterizes a bear market. So I think we've already bottomed out. We've hit the 21-month exponential moving average, which has been respected, and yeah, I think we're going to continue to go up. The rate at which we go up is something that can be disputed, but yeah, I think we're on the up now. Looking at Ether, I'm skeptical, as you know from previous videos. This tail is worrying. Rejection of higher prices. The market isn't ready just from this, and so I think we're going to move sideways. I think there's also a possibility for a retest of these lows here, but it's a case of just waiting out and see what happens. Let's see what happens in August. I think that will be really important information to consider to determine whether you make further positions in this space. So that's it for me, guys. If you like this episode, hit the like button, subscribe. Also sign up for the alerts when you subscribe. This is also going to on SoundCloud, so follow me on SoundCloud. I'm going to be dropping a lot more content, so let me know what you thought of this episode. And remember, I work for you, so if you want me to cover something in particular, just let me know. But for now, have a fantastic day. It's the weekend, so enjoy yourself. And if you're in the UK, enjoy the sun. It's me, Chris, signing off for today. So bye-bye and take care.